My mother, 52 female, cheated and left me, 27 male, and our family to work in the adult industry, and now wants to come back and be my mum again. To give some context, my dad, 67 male, used to travel a lot to work and stay weeks away. So he and my mother had an agreement where they had an open marriage. Don't know the details, but she was the only one that slept with other people. This happened to most of my childhood, as I can remember her leaving at night to go to clubs and parties, sometimes taking days to come back and neglecting me and my brother. I learned how to get groceries and cook when I was 8, so me and my brother would not starve. When I was around 13, my parents started fighting, since apparently she had broken the deal in some way. My dad found out about the neglect, and she started going into the adult industry. They separated, and for years I had no contact with my mother. I sent her texts and emails, some that even popped up as she had seen it, but she never replied, so one day I just gave up trying to contact her. I managed to stay in contact with some people from her side of the family, but a lot of them began hating on us, saying that we were too harsh on her, that we never supported her, that she did well leaving us, and gradually I also cut contact with them as well. She started working in the adult industry and got pretty famous in my country, got a lot of money, and I stopped using any not safe for work websites, as she was on the top pages of all of them. I gladly suffered 0 to no bullying in high school because of it, as there were no ways of connecting her to me, and most of my friends that knew my mother didn't know it was her. She had dyed her hair, done a few surgeries and stuff. Well, I moved on with my life, joined the army, and I'm pretty well now. However, a year ago, out of nowhere, she found me on social media and began to message me, asking how I was, commenting on how much I had grown up, and trying to do some small talk. I just replied with one word, and even stopped replying once my nerves got the better of me. Apparently, she has retired, and after feeling an overwhelming remorse throughout her entire life, decided to contact us again. My brother was also careful, but essentially accepted her back. He was always close to her. My father is cordial with her, but only that. She has also asked her entire part of the family for help, as I began being bombarded with messages and calls from both those that criticized and supported me and my dad. I made it clear that I do not want anything with her, but they just keep on, saying that she is remorseful, that she did a mistake, but wants to make it right, that she has come back for us, etc. More recently, she somehow found out where I live, and I've been receiving random gifts at my doorstep with messages that were clearly hers. Things like a basket of chocolate that I liked when I was little, expensive clothes. She got my size wrong on all of them, lol. Flowers when my cat passed away, and even a very expensive hiking kit. I messaged her a few times to say I don't want any of that, but she just pretends she doesn't know what I'm talking about, or just says she thought of me at that moment. I made it clear time and time again that I don't want anything to do with her, but she still persists, saying that she can be my mum again now, and stuff like that. I don't know what else to say, so any advice is more than welcome. My reaction for OP. What the hell? So your mum, now her career has finished, wants back in your life, dude, but isn't that kind of conditional love? Aren't parents meant to love their kids with no strings attached? I feel there's more to come in this story. Now, on to the updates. Update 1. First, I would like to thank everyone that commented, giving me some comfort, advice, or letting me unwind on their direct messages. You all helped me a lot. I'm still trying to answer all of the comments and messages, but with work and family craziness reaching new heights, that might take some time. But Know that your words are very appreciated and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Well, to start the update, I decided to take the moral high ground and take a more polite approach. I know many of you wanted me to just send her to hell on a message or letter, but I thought this way would disarm much of her comebacks and maybe even make some of her family members shut up. I called her and asked her to meet me in a small cafe. No way I was meeting her in private. She got there, and it looked like she had won the lottery. She had a smile from ear to ear and was almost jumping up and down, but her smile did fade when she saw my face. She sat down and tried to do some small talk, but I cut her off and began to rain on her parade. With all of the calm and patience I could gather, I told her that, no matter what she does or says, there would be no way for her to be my mum again. I started to explain that she was a complete stranger to me now, that I still had resentments. Reminded her that I tried many times to stay in contact with her, but she refused. And even stated that I'm no longer a child. I'm almost 30, so I kind of don't need a mum anymore. Had to hold myself not to say something like, "A few years too late, huh?" I didn't even finish speaking when she burst into tears and began rambling about how sorry she was. That she was sorry for not seeing me grow up. Sorry for ignoring me. That she would do anything for a second chance. She even told me that if her old work bothers me, she would have it all taken down and pay for therapy if I wanted it. Apparently, she didn't know I'm in therapy ever since I was a teenager. I politely refused, and since the conversation wasn't likely to progress, I just left after asking her once more to not contact me again. A couple of hours later, I was in the shower when my phone began exploding with calls and messages. She apparently once again told her family, and once again, they were cursing or trying to convince me. That showed me that some of the more radical comments on my last post were somewhat right, and I decided to follow some of their advice. I swapped my phone number, also got a much better phone plan, cleaned my social media of any family members from her side, and told my lawyer to go forward with the restraining order. Thanks to the last post, I had it ready to go. Thanks again, everyone. She received the order a couple of days ago and immediately broke it by driving straight to my house to scream why I was doing that. I didn't come out and called the cops. Thankfully, they saw the restraining order and took her to the station for questioning. I was afraid they would ignore it or something, but I'm glad I was wrong. I'm now stuck here. Not sure if what I did was 100% right, but at least I'm having some semblance of peace these last few days. She's still trying to send gifts, but I'm going legal on that too. I'm honestly not sure if there will be any more updates after this, but if it happens, I'll post on my profile due to the subreddit rules, but once again, thanks everyone. Update 2. So, I wasn't planning on posting any more updates, but a lot of people have been messaging me and apparently my post made it into YouTube and it blew up. And because of it, even more people are posting messages. So I guess I'll just write a quick one. My mother is now legally fighting me on the restraining order. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I'm trying to get more restraining orders for the more crazy members of her family. My lawyer told me to be cautious because if I request 20 plus orders for all of her family, I'll look like a madman and it will all be denied. She hasn't broken the restraining order again after the last time, but the gifts continue to come and even intensified, so I'm just donating all of them. Although my childhood was pretty bad, I can say that the amount of chocolate she sent me is making a lot of kids really happy now, lol. And I'll say it again, I'm not revealing her name. Go find porn elsewhere and stop messaging me. It's not even for her sake, but because I don't want to get doxxed. Anyone that sends any message like that will be blocked. To end this, I don't know if I'll post any more updates or how long they will be, but if something happens, I'll definitely tell you guys. Once again, thanks to everyone that helped me. Story 2. Would I be the arsehole if I refused to buy a tacky painting my sister-in-law made for my family? My daughter and I love reading these together. Now it's our turn to ask for judgment. I'm 52 female, and this situation concerns my husband's brother, Drew, 59 male, and his wife of 5 years, Suzanne, 35 female. Drew supports Suzanne on her income, while she focuses on her dream of being an artist. She makes paintings of people and animals, and has a website where she advertises her work for sale. Privately, I don't think her art is very good. It's absolutely better than what I could do, but it doesn't look professional, if you know what I mean. My husband feels the same, so we have not opted to purchase any of her art, despite her dropping hints here and there about it. The art on her site is priced in the $3,000 to $5,000 range. I realise that labour and cost of materials must be taken into account, but given the quality, those prices seem outrageous to me. I suspect she's not making regular sales because she started making portraits of friends, family or pets as a surprise. And usually, said family and friends end up feeling obligated to buy the painting as a courtesy. Unfortunately, my husband and I were the latest victims of this sales tactic. My son recently proposed to his girlfriend, and we took with 2 of them, his girlfriend's parents and our daughter, out to a fancy dinner to celebrate. Both my kids posted pictures from dinner on social media. Without telling anyone, Suzanne decided to make a painting of one of these pictures, of everyone smiling for the camera. She revealed the big surprise at a party she and Drew hosted 2 weeks ago. The painting is a whopping 40 x 58, and I honestly think it's awful, kitsch and tacky. I told Suzanne it was sweet of her to commemorate such a special moment in our family, but I carefully avoided saying anything about liking it, as I feared she kept dropping hints throughout the party about how we can buy it as a wedding gift, and she would be happy to give us a big discount off what she would charge someone else. Who else would buy it? I politely dodged these hints, and she was clearly disappointed. Over the weekend, Drew reached out to my husband to say that Suzanne feels hurt that we never made an offer. He said it's becoming obvious as the years go by that we've never purchased one of her pieces, even though we have the means to do so, and it would mean a lot to them if we buy the painting. Her original asking price was $2,500, and Drew said he'd reduce it further to $1,900. It's not all about the money, not entirely. It's the principle of the thing. I feel like I'm being strong-armed into paying for something I never asked for, don't like, and don't have space for in my house. I asked, and my son and his fiancée don't want it. My husband thinks we should just buy it to keep the peace in the family and avoid a potential rift with Suzanne and Drew. He also says the way I talk makes me sound like a snob, even though I would never share these opinions with anyone I know but him. Would I be the arsehole if I stand my ground and refuse? Now for the top comments. Commenter 1. Not the arsehole. I would simply ask her why she won't gift it to the happy couple and follow up asking, did she only make the painting so that she can make money and not for her nephew and his new fiancé? You're definitely not wrong, but I'm petty and would make sure to turn this around on her. Op reply. Thank you for your judgment. I think this is a great idea, though I know Suzanne's underlying issue is that she thinks we don't like her art, which is true, and I'm afraid she'll keep pushing until she either makes for sale or I give a firm no. Commenter 2. First off, as a working artist and art professor, no professional artist would paint from a photo without express permission. So, she's not a professional. Second, that size is ridiculous. It puts me in mind of the gigantic and totally awful painting Amy had made of her and Penny in Big Bang Theory. I would urge you to simply tell Drew, kindly but firmly, that you aren't going to buy the painting or any of Suzanne's artwork, and ask him to please let it drop. If you buy this painting, you're setting yourself up for more of Suzanne's ambush marketing. I won't lie, now I'm dying to see the painting. Laugh out loud. Not the arsehole for not wanting to pay $2,000 for bad art. Op reply. Thank you for your input. I admit, I don't really know any artists, but I couldn't imagine that professionals go about making sales this way. The sizes are also very off-putting indeed. All her paintings are huge, which I think is even more difficult to pull off if the artist's skill isn't high. I won't lie, now I'm dying to see the painting. Laugh out loud. I totally get it. Posting any of her art online would definitely make me feel like the arsehole though. Story 3. Am I the arsehole for telling the family therapist my dad and stepmom refused to do the homework assigned and didn't follow her advice? I'm 16 mil in therapy with my dad and stepmom. It's been 3 or 4 months of therapy now. We started going because my stepmom wants a different relationship with me than I want with her. Her feelings were getting hurt and I was getting frustrated with feeling like what I wanted didn't matter and that her wants were the priority. Stepmom has been stepmom since I was 9 and I've known her since I was 9. I didn't really get time in between meeting her and her marrying dad to get to know her well because she moved states to live with us. I lost my mum when I was 5. She wanted us to have a mum-son dynamic. I saw her as family, but not as a mum or even an actual parent. I do respect her. I think she's nice. I think she's funny, and we'd be friends easier if I had been older. But I don't want another mum. Her giving birth to my half-siblings didn't change that for me, but having them made her more eager for more. She calls me her son all the time. I have voiced before that I wish she'd stay stepson. I was ignored and it was never addressed. When we started therapy, I had mentioned that was something I disliked. She had talked about how she disliked me calling her by her name, how she wanted something more formal between us like mama or something. Dad said he wanted me to embrace having a second mum. He wanted me to let my stepmom be my second mum. I was honest that I feel like my voice doesn't matter when they ignore me, asking her to call me her stepson. I explained why I want that, why I feel as I do. They tried to dismiss it, but the therapist told them to stop. She told them that me feeling like it lessens my mum is valid, that many kids and adults feel that way. And while that could change if I wanted it to, if I wanted to work on that, if not, it was something they would need to accept. 2 weeks ago, she gave us homework. She wanted us to sit down and discuss outside of therapy the whole son-mama thing and come back to her with notes from it. She also wanted my stepmom to call me her stepson for a week. They didn't do any of that. I told the therapist during our session last week. I said, they refused to sit with me. True. And she never once called me her stepson. I was asked to sit out for the rest of the session, and she had it, just them and her, that day. They are so pissed at me. They told me I had done that to spite them. And it's not fair that my stepmom has to do the work, but not me. And she's right, while I'm wrong. Am I the arsehole? If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you.